Hi everybody. Today we're going to do a very high-level overview of how to connect your HubSpot instance to Lob to start automating your direct mail. So we're going to start with the Lob native integration. So we're going to log into the Lob platform here. And when you log in, on the left-hand panel, you'll see a section called Integrations. And when you click on that, you can see your connected integrations. HubSpot in this case is already connected. If it wasn't connected, you would see it here under available integrations, and then you'd be able to click into it like I'm doing here with Zoho, for example, and authenticate into your HubSpot account from within the integrations tab. Once that's done, it will permission Lob to retrieve data directly from the HubSpot account, which means that you can start automating mail to be sent based on actions that take place within HubSpot. So in this case, I have my HubSpot integration connected, and once it's connected and the data has been updated, I will click to create an automated campaign. So if you've been through our campaigns interface, you're probably familiar with this. So I'll run through this fairly quickly, but we'll call this HubSpot 822 demo. And this will be marketing mail. We'll select a postcard, 6x9, etc., etc. But once we've selected our basic parameters and we go to add audience, you'll see that for automated campaigns, instead of uploading a CSV of your audience, you'll see this campaign trigger. So campaign trigger is going to be first selecting your integration, in our case HubSpot. From there, this trigger will occur when an action takes place within a specific table within HubSpot. So you can create tables specifically for your automated direct mail action plans. In this case, we'll just choose the general contacts table. And once we've selected the table, you'll see that the function is now based on when either a row is added to that table, a row is updated in that table, or you can do a date-based trigger. So that can be, on the anniversary of an event, for example, a birthday. That can be, within some period of time of an event occurring. But we'll stick to a new row is added for the sake of today's demo. So for example, let's say you have a welcome postcard that you want to send when somebody signs up, or you have a mail piece that you want to trigger when somebody registers but then doesn't, complete a purchase after a period of days. Well, in HubSpot, you could then have that person added to a specific table, and when they're added to that table, there'll be some other settings down here, for example, a delay to print, so that you can review every so often before these mail pieces get sent out. You can frequency cap, so do I send it every time, send only once, set a custom rule, etc. But big picture, when a row is added to that table, this will now trigger a mail piece to be sent automatically. So I want to make sure that I map the required address variables to corresponding attributes within HubSpot. And this is a good time to point out that you'll want to make sure that you're storing address data, mailing address data, I should say, in HubSpot today. So I'll go ahead and fill these out. City, street, state, and I believe this field's called postal code in HubSpot. So once that's set up, a new person is added to this specific table. Their name and address information will be retrieved from their user profile within HubSpot, and then they will be sent to the creative that we choose here on the next tab. So again, this is pretty familiar if you've been through our campaigns dashboard before, so I won't go into every detail here, but I'm going to quickly select my HubSpot front and back templates. So this is the specific template that I want to send somebody who takes this action. So in this case, it says their first name. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about our HubSpot integration. Because there's that one merge variable, I'll want to map that as well to the corresponding field within HubSpot. So we'll map that to the first name column. And then everything is just the same as with our standard one-time campaigns from here forward. You'll review that everything was set up correctly. If everything is, you can generate a proof of your mail piece if you like. Once you hit place order, This campaign will now go live, and every time a contact is added to that list, they will automatically get pushed into this flow, and then you'll start to see them show up under recipients and their mail pieces being triggered and sent. One thing to keep in mind is that Lob is refreshing that data at regular intervals, but this is not something that happens in real time. So you see somebody get added to that contact list, don't expect Lob to trigger that mail piece within a matter of minutes. It'll probably be sometime in that same day, as Lob is going to be refreshing data across your entire HubSpot integration at regular intervals rather than every moment. So that's the Lob native no-code integration for connecting HubSpot and Lob and setting up those automations. I do also want to call out that you can connect to Lob from within HubSpot as well. So if you log into HubSpot and you go to automations, you can create a workflow within HubSpot that can make a call to Lob when a user reaches a certain step to trigger a mail piece in pretty much the same way that you can create a step to trigger an email. So in this case, a user is entered into this flow. What happens when they reach this webhook, which we've set up here, is that this is now mapped to Lob's API. And again, it's going to be pulling those fields that are required by Lob from within HubSpot attributes and then passing those to our API. So if I go back to our Lob dashboard here and I click on postcards, and we'll let that live postcard screen load. I'm going to scroll down here. You'll see there's some Python code. We'll circle back to this in a few minutes, but we have a step-by-step guide that will give you this code. But you'll see that this is a little bit more technical than the native Lob connector. I'm going to go ahead and test it, and I'll select from my audience list here within HubSpot. We can send one to We'll send a mail piece to Tanya. So I'm going to hit test. This is testing my webhook, making sure it's successfully calling to Lob's API. I can see that that was successful here in HubSpot. So if I go back into my Lob dashboard and I refresh my postcard screen, I can now see there's a HubSpot demo postcard and it was sent to Tanya. And if I open it up, I can see it was personalized. Tanya, thank you so much for taking the time, blah, blah, blah. So big picture, you can connect to HubSpot either natively within Lob with no code or from within HubSpot with a light amount of code. If you want to connect from within HubSpot, we do have a step-by-step guide available on our website that goes through with step-by-step screenshots of how to set up that webhook, and it even includes a snippet of Python code that you can use to get started for that end webhook itself. So again, a bit more technical than what you're doing natively within Lob, but with this step-by-step guide, it might help make it a bit easier. And of course, your Lob team is always here to support you. So thank you for taking the time to learn about connecting HubSpot and Lob, and I hope this was valuable, and we look forward to talking to you soon.